Divrei-hayamim Aleph, 1 Chronicles, chapter 29. To the whole community, David the king said, Shlomo, my son, is the only one God has chosen, but he is still young and inexperienced, whereas the work to be done is great, because the palace is not for anyone human, but for Adonai God. Now I have used all my strength to prepare for the house of my God the gold needed for the articles of gold, the silver for the articles of silver, the bronze for the articles of bronze, the iron for the articles of iron, the wood for the articles of wood, onyx stones, gemstones to be set, brilliant stones of various colors, all kinds of precious stones, as well as marble in abundance. In addition, because my desire is set on the house of my God, since I have my own supply of gold and silver, I herewith give it to the house of my God, over and above everything I have prepared for the holy house, 99 tons of gold from the gold of Ophir, and 231 tons of refined silver to be used for overlaying the walls of the houses. The gold is for whatever is to be made of gold, and the silver is for whatever is to be made of silver, and they may be used for anything to be made by craftsmen. Therefore, who offers willingly to consecrate himself to Adonai? Then the clan leaders, the leaders of the tribes of Israel, the captains of thousands and of hundreds, along with the supervisors over the king's work, offered willingly. They gave for the service of the house of God 165 tons of gold, 330 tons of silver, 594 tons of bronze, and 3,300 tons of iron. Those who had precious stones gave them to the storehouse of the house of Adonai, supervised by Yehiel the Gershoni. The people were filled with joy because they had given willingly. Wholeheartedly they had given willingly to Adonai, and David the king too was completely filled with joy, as he blessed Adonai before the entire community. Blessed be you, Adonai, the God of Israel, our Father, forever and ever. Yours, Adonai, is the greatness, the power, the glory, the victory, and the majesty, for everything in heaven and on earth is yours. The kingdom is yours, Adonai, and you are exalted as head over all. Riches and honor come from you. You rule everything, in your hand is power and strength. You have the capacity to make great and to give strength to all. Therefore, our God, we thank you and praise your glorious name. But who am I, and what is my people, that we should be able to give so willingly in this way? For all things come from you, so that we have given you what is already yours. For in your presence we are temporary residents, just passing through, as all our ancestors were. Our days on earth are like a shadow, without hope. Adonai our God, all these supplies that we have prepared in order to build you a house for your holy name come from your own hand. All of it is already yours. I know also, my God, that you test the heart and take pleasure in integrity. As for myself, I have given all these things willingly, in the integrity of my heart, and now with joy I've seen your people who are present here give willingly to you. Adonai, God of Abraham, Yitzchak, and Israel, our ancestors, guard forever the inclinations of the thoughts and the hearts of your people. Direct their hearts to you, and give to Shlomo, my son, wholeheartedness to obey your mitzvot, instructions, and rules, to do all these things, and to build the palace for which I have made provision. Then David said to all the community, Now bless Adonai your God. All the community blessed Adonai, the God of their ancestors, bowing their heads and prostrating themselves before Adonai and before the king. On the following day they presented sacrifices to Adonai and offered burnt offerings to Adonai, 1,000 bulls, 1,000 rams, and 1,000 lambs, with their drink offerings, and sacrifices in abundance for all Israel. They ate and drank before Adonai that day with great joy. Then for the second time they made Shlomo the son of David king, anointing him before Adonai to be king, and Zadok to be Kohen. Shlomo sat on the throne of Adonai as king in place of David his father, and prospered, and all Israel obeyed him. All the leaders and warrior heroes, and likewise the sons of King David, submitted themselves to Shlomo the king. Adonai gave Shlomo exceedingly great power, in full view of all Israel, and bestowed on him royal majesty, such as not had been seen on any king before him in Israel. Now David the son of Yeshai ruled over all Israel. The duration of his reign over Israel was 40 years. He reigned 7 years in Hebron, and he reigned 33 years in Jerusalem. Then he died at a ripe old age, full of years, riches, and honor, and Shlomo his son reigned in his place. The activities of David the king, from first to last, are written in the records of Shemuel the seer, Natan the prophet, and Gad the seer, with all his reign and his power, and the events that he had. that he, Israel, and the kingdoms of other countries experience